Hello Internet, welcome to another Turbo-tastic repair video, courtesy of Adventure Link, the one and only. Well, this is my channel, so what was expecting? I'm the Ninja Turtles! Well, in that regard, Ninja Turtles ice cream season on the ice cream truck is slowly starting to come around, but I do want to mention something before I get started. First off, this is a repair video on how to replace the wheel hub, this whole assembly here, on your 2004 Mercury Grand Marquis GS, so this could apply to any other Panther as a whole. Next off, this is going to be my last video that I filmed using my HTC Evo 3D. I put in my pre-order on T-Mobile for the Samsung Galaxy S4, so we'll see how that goes. So, goodbye Evo 3D, welcome Samsung Galaxy S4. But with all that out of the way, I'm going to get on with how to repair the hub today. Now, I've already removed most of the stuff for you, but to get this far, first thing you want to do is disable your air suspension. It's a switch somewhere in your trunk. That's if your vehicle has one. Next thing you want to do is raise your vehicle up in the air, the front end, using jacks, jack stands, forearm lift, drive-on lift. Do not use ramps. It will not be of any help to you. Make sure that you are using your proper jack points and secure your load, because as always, safety, structural integrity, quality, the right tools and parts for the right job, and doing the job right the first time, every time, are all number one. Next thing you want to do is remove the tire. It's obviously 5 lugs, 21 millimeters or 13/16. The next thing you want to do is remove the brake hardware, the caliper, the pad bracket, and the rotor. The caliper is held on by 14 or 15 millimeter bolts, depending upon what kind of hardware kit you get. Just as a fair warning, your caliper may or may not try to fight you when it gets off, and it may be extremely difficult. So before removal, you may want to take like a long screwdriver or a pry bar or whatever and pop it into caliper holes to pry back the pistons to allow for easier removal. And the pad bracket bolts, as always, are 18 millimeters, keeping in mind that they also may fight you every step of the way. So have a good wrench and have a big breaker bar on there to make sure everything comes off. And of course, the rotor, as always, slides on and off just like the tire does. The next thing you want to do is remove the ABS wire, which is this wire right here. And to verify, of course, you could go down all the way, start wiggling the wire. And if it wiggles all the way down to the wheel hub, which you may or may not see it, but this wire here does, then you know you got the right one. The passenger side's easy. All you got to do is pull this electrical connector back. She's out. On the other hand, the driver's side is a little bit more complicated, as the sensor is underneath the connector is underneath this air box. To get this far, first off, there are 2 clips here. Undo them. Then push the airbox back. Next thing you want to do is these 11 millimeter nuts. Take these off. Just as a fair warning, the one back there, yeah, that one, may try to fight you. So you may only get away with be able to loosen it just a little bit. Pull up on the airbox. And there's your sensor. It's all the way in the back there. You may or may not be able to see it, but it removes the same way as the other one does. There's a tab, pull down, or push down on it, pull back. The next thing you want to do is remove the sway bar link here. It's a very special process. This is a 15 millimeter nut and a 7 millimeter head at the end of the stud here. Same thing on both ends, like this and like this. Then when you've removed the sway bar, this side slides out first, and then the upper side slides out with it. Next thing you want to do is remove all these little hold-ons here. Because we kind of destroyed the other ones, these normally would go in with a screwdriver, pop out with a screwdriver and come out. But we had to zip tie it, so I guess if you can't get these back on the upper control arm, zip ties are fine too. There's several of them along the frame in the upper control arm. Go ahead and pop them off now. Next thing you want to do is remove 4 bolts. One right here, one right here, one up here, and one back here. They're all 15 millimeters. Just as a fair warning, these will try to fight you every step of the way, so make sure you do have a good breaker bar or a good ratchet, as well as have a little cheater bar on the end of your ratchet. Okay, so I got the new bearing on. Just as a very, very fair warning, the old bearing will be a biatch to get off, and when you get it all off, it will look like this. So, what I did was I used a propane torch, a long screwdriver, and a 3-pound mallet, which looks like this. And it's a clever finessing. And I have some curse words, of course, that came off. Then I scraped and burned off a little bit of the corrosion and icky stuff as best as I could. And then I put the wheel bearing back on. Just so you know, the 4 bolts that hold it in, you should be able to see the ends of 2 of them there. They are torqued to 74 foot-pounds. Personally, what I would like to do, it's a square pattern. It's like a 4-lug tire. I would personally torque it down just like a 4-lug tire. Make sure everything's all nice and evenly torqued. The tire lug nuts are 95 foot-pounds. So make sure you tighten all that down to spec. And before you do take off, make sure you do pump the brake pedal several times to make sure that the brake pedal will feel nice and even and you can stop safely. And that's it. You're all done. You just removed and replaced your wheel bearing / hub assembly on your 2004 Mercury Grand Marquis GS, though this could apply to any of the Panthers as a whole. And remember, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, praise, criticism, etc. about this video, but no flames or bullcrap, hit me up in the comments section. If you have any questions about the Ford Panther platform as a whole, which covers the Ford Crown Victoria, Mercury Grand Marquis and Marauder, and the Lincoln Town Car, hit up one or more of the following web forums or Facebook groups if web forums are not your forte: crownvic.net, crownvic.ca, grandmark.net, cvpi.org, and or the United Panther Owners Association. Either way, search all the forums, make an account on them, sign up, post your questions, and the fine folks at either medium or either forum, myself included, will be happy to answer any questions you have in a timely manner. As always, the subscribe button, thumbs up, thumbs down button, etc. are at the bottom of every YouTube video now. Mine are no exception. Look down at the bottom of the video for the subscribe button, hit it, and you can subscribe to me. You can see any new videos that I put on YouTube. They will be in your news feed and in your weekly YouTube digest emails. You can also thumbs up and thumbs down each video as you please. This has been Adventure Link. We're going to close this video out as always by quoting Eric the Car Guy and saying, be safe, have fun, and stay dirty. And a couple more from me. If it happens to be cold outside, stay warm. If it's wet, stay dry. Don't forget to scan your spoo and sometimes your pee slip. See you next time. Have a nice day.